Hello everybody, this is Sportman16, and for this video is going to be continuing up on, I guess, this little series of where I talk about 10 or somewhere around 10 favorite Pokemon that I like from each region. Okay, not to say favorites, but more or less ones that I have either a real good liking to or just a liking to. So, moving on to Generation 2. Now, I'm just going to say this right here and now, and hopefully you guys will understand, that when it came to picking Generation 2 Pokemon that I have a liking for, was a bit more difficult because the thing of it is, in terms of the roster for Generation 2, it's pretty much my least favorite out of all the generations. Yes, I know, fans of Gen 2, I know y'all are pretty upset in your heads right now, saying that I find Generation 2's roster to be my least favorite in the series. That's not to say that all Gen 2 Pokemon are just absolutely terrible. No, nowhere near. But it's just, their designs just don't really appeal to me as much as all the others. But hey, if I didn't like any of the Gen 2 Pokemon, I wouldn't be making this video, now would I? So, without further ado, I'm going to be talking about the first Generation 2 Pokemon that I do have a liking for, and it is that of the big bear known as Ursaring. Yep, Ursaring. What is there that I like about Ursaring? Well, first of all, he's a freaking bear. And although bears are not exactly my favorite animal in the stinking world, but they are pretty awesome predatory animals, even though technically bears can eat both plants and meat. But I consider bears to be a bit more carnivorous, but they are what they are. But with Ursaring, for one, he has a pretty decent attack stat. His design is just, well, you just see him and he's just the big bad bear, where you just tick him off in the slightest and he'll want to go complete ham on your sorry little keister. And the fact that he has the Guts ability, which for anybody who doesn't know what the Guts ability does, is that if Ursaring is affected by any status condition, like say paralysis, burn, poison, then the Guts ability will activate and his attack will be increased. Which I say right there, that's a pretty decent ability for Ursaring. Now, when talking about shiny Ursaring, oh boy, do people hate this one. Which you can all clearly see in the picture. He's basically the purest of green. And quite frankly, nobody likes it. Well, except for me, because for me being an obsessed shiny hunter, I say the green on him is not bad, because they kind of went with the right shade of green. Though much more people would prefer of him being like more of a black bear or maybe even a polar bear. And once again, I do apologize for any background talking, because yeah, what can I do about that? Anyway, yeah, basically Ursaring is clearly among the group of the most hated shinies of all time, which are green ones. Which, what the typical thing is that people say why they hate green shinies is because either it just looks ugly, looks like snot, looks like someone puked on it, or it just looks radioactive. But that's the part of why I say it's cool. Pokemon that look more radioactive is not really a bad thing. But again, most people would just prefer him to be looking more like a black bear, which is understandable, but that is how they want it. But yeah, overall, really like Ursaring because he's a big, strong bear. Because I mean, look at those stinging claws that he has. And the fact that I like him for having the Guts ability and his shiny is, well, not the worst. So, moving on to Johto Pokemon number 2, which is that of Skarmory. Yeah, honestly, I never really liked much of Skarmory at first. But as time went on, I grew to like him. Because for one, he's a steel type, which is my favorite type. And yes, I do know that he's flying type. And he is really good for taking hits. And overall, his design just kind of started to grow on me as the years went on. I don't know too much else about Skarmory, or I don't remember too much else about Skarmory. But it's just, he has a nice design. Definitely love the way what they did with his wings to just make them look like giant sickle blades for wings. Yeah, the fact of him having sturdy, which meaning if at full health, if he was supposed to be knocked out, he will survive. Well, considering the fact that sturdy before Gen 5 was basically that sturdy in Gen 4 was the fact that it was not able to be hit by one-hit KO moves. But then when Gen 5 came around, it got the buff to where if the Pokemon was at full health and the move that it hit or that it got hit with was supposed to one-hit KO it doesn't. So basically kind of saying that sturdy is kind of like a free focus sash. So that was pretty cool. And Skarmory was one of those Pokemon to get it. So pretty much meaning that Skarmory can be able to get a free hit. And I do believe Skarmory can definitely be like a entry hazard setter, I believe. But that's kind of the good competitive thing about Skarmory. Now, was in terms of shiny Skarmory, well, they did good. His gray coloring is changed to a different shade with having like a very slight green tint to it, while the wings themselves turn into a green color, which I will say that was really well done. And also, as a little side thing about Skarmory that I like, I do like his cry, especially when I heard it in Pokemon Stadium 2. That was something. But yeah, Skarmory, a Pokemon that I didn't really like too much at first, but he grew on me, and that's all I can really say. Moving on to Pokemon number 3, or Johto Pokemon number 3, who is yet another Steel type, but is Bug in Steel, and that is Scizor. Now, I know I said in the top, or the 11 Kanto Pokemon that I like, that I do like Scyther over Scizor, but I didn't say that I hate Scizor, because trust me, I like Scizor. I really do like Scizor. Because, first of all, you just look at that design, it just looks so sleek. And the fact of changing the basically the sickle blades for hands to big pincers was definitely a good touch. And also, I also find it a little funny that the spots on the sides of his pincers are supposed to look like extra heads. But no. But yeah, basically between Scyther and Scizor, you basically do get benefits depending on which one you use. Because with Scizor, it's basically you're hitting harder, but not as fast as Scyther. Basically, with Scizor, you are hitting harder than Scyther, but not hitting as fast as Scyther. But with Scyther, you're hitting faster than Scizor, but not as hard as Scizor. That's basically the trade-off. Scizor sacrificed speed for power. And again, it is pretty cool for him to be being a Bug Steel type, even though, hello, quad weakness to fire. That's all fine and dandy. And Scizor was one of the few Johto Pokemon to gain a Mega Evolution. Which, let me tell you, Mega Scizor looks really sick. Like cool sick. And the fact that both Scyther and Scizor, when they both gained the ability of Technician, was kind of a blessing for them. Because with Technician is basically any attacking move that has a base power of 60 or lower will actually get an increase in power. So that was pretty cool. And the fact that if I remember correctly, that Mega Scizor actually retains that Technician ability upon Mega Evolving. So that is really cool. Now talking about Shiny Scizor, as I pretty much mentioned with Shiny Ursaring, Scizor goes from red to green, but looking more like a lime-ish green. And once again, people just don't like that. They just preferred more of the red Scizor, or if they want to change the color of Scizor, be more like a grayish color to emphasize the steel typing, or just make it like a regular blue or a light blue. I wouldn't really know exactly what colors to give a Shiny Scizor if I made an official Shiny Scizor, but the green, it still works because I kind of feel like the green emphasizes more on its bug typing rather than its steel typing. And I still feel like it still remained cool even in the Mega form. But yeah, Scizor, a really cool Pokemon for Gen 2, really good competitively. Design is amazing. The shiny is not that bad. And overall, yeah, if you want to run like a bug team or something, Scizor can definitely be a good consideration. Now moving on to Johto Pokemon number 4, who is, well, yet another bug type, but this one is bug poison, and that is Ariados. Yeah, Ariados is not a very well-remembered Gen 2 Pokemon. But for me, I have a liking for Ariados. Because, for one, he was basically Pokemon's first ever spider-like Pokemon. And, well, this is basically the thing of me, is that I really do like spiders. Yeah. I'm basically I'm not arachnophobic. I do like my spiders. I don't really have a personal favorite kind of spider. It's just I just love spiders. And when seeing that really throughout the entire history of Pokemon, we've only had like 3 spider Pokemon, being that of Ariados and 2 others that I might talk about later. Ariados, he's a very underwhelming bug poison type. I mean, he's not really particularly strong or anything, but he can still hold his own. And the design is pretty nice. Having like these extra leg-like antennas coming out of his abdomen, to where he can kind of like, leap onto his back and they can just be like an extra set of legs to where he could shoot something out the abdomen. It's pretty nice. And also the horn was a very nice touch. And just that the patterns on him are pretty nice too. Excuse me. Though his eyes are a little weird looking, but that's all fine. Now, in terms of Shiny Ariados, I will definitely say it was a very good change from regular Ariados. Basically, the red body becomes like a light purple, gaining like basically blue and yellow legs with blue eyes. It was very nice. And I will definitely say it is much better than regular Ariados, but not saying that regular Ariados' colors are bad. But that's all I can really say about Ariados. He's a pretty underwhelming poison bug type or bug poison type. But the fact that he was the first spider-based Pokemon, and the design is not too bad, and the shiny is just amazing. And yeah, I do apologize for these entries possibly being shorter than what they were for the Kantomons. But anyway, we are reaching the halfway point on this little list, and the next Pokemon that I'll be talking about, well, it is pretty much one of my favorite dark types, or pretty much say is my favorite dark type, and that is the Dark Fire Hellhound. That is Houndoom. And really, first of all, what is there to say about Houndoom? For one, he's a freaking dog, and for me, I'm a dog person. I just love my little poochies. And when seeing that, and then when seeing Houndoom, it's just wow. And really, Houndoom is actually my sister's favorite Pokemon alongside Nidoking. But I think she kind of prefers more of Houndoom to Nidoking. But I mean, first of all, you just take a look at Houndoom's design. You just gotta love the horns on his head, the little rib bony things on his back, the anklets around his ankles, and the supposed like skull thing on his chest, and a little doggy demon tail. Because yeah, Houndoom is pretty much based off of hellhounds. And yeah, like I said, love me my dogs. And then Houndoom was also another selected Gen 2 Pokemon to gain a Mega Evolution. And when I saw Mega Houndoom, I was like, wow. Now he is a really true hellhound now. Basically, his horns go from curling back to just sticking straight up. The bony spine, the bony rib spine things grow more excessive and gaining like tusk-like bones in front of his chest. The tail, just the tip of the tail splits down the middle. Though two of the bone anklet things were removed from his back legs, I think, if I remember correctly. And just overall, he just gets that much bigger and looks that much sleeker. Or skinnier, I guess. And I mean, my sister was happy when knowing that Mega Houndoom was going to become a thing. And I was pretty enjoyable about it too. Though, unfortunately, Mega Houndoom didn't exactly get the greatest ability, and that of solar power, which basically, in the sunlight, Houndoom does get a boost in his special attack, but oddly loses a little bit of his health every turn, which is kind of dumb if you ask me. Now, Shiny Houndoom, I kind of feel like they could have done something different with him. Because with Shiny Houndoom, basically, the orangish red on his body turns to a more, pretty much like a beigeish yellow color, and the blackish red on his body turns into a basically kind of dull blue. And yeah, I will say this, that when it comes to talking about colors on shiny Pokemon, I am very specific about it. Okay? And basically, the bony parts, I don't really think they change any color. Now, I really felt like with Shiny Houndoom, they could have done better with him. Like, basically, giving him like the real true Hellhound appearance. To basically, like, taking the black, making it red, taking the orange red parts and make them black. But they did what they did, and it's not the worst colors they would have chose for a Shiny Houndoom. I mean, it did improve a little bit on Shiny Mega Houndoom, but yeah, like I said, they could have chose worse colors. But at the same time, they could have chose better colors. But overall, really love Houndoom for really being a truly like good Hellhound looking Pokemon. Love the design. Love the Mega. Overall, just awesome. Now, number 6 in line is probably most likely people will consider to be an odd choice for me. And that would be, well, Gligar. Yeah, you're probably thinking, why am I choosing Gligar? Well, this entry I feel like is just going to be a little shorter. Because with Gligar, nothing really good competitively came out of him in the early days. And I mean, yeah, he was given an absolute blessing of an evolution in Gen 4 in Gliscor. But Gligar is still a little neat in his own way. Because you look at his design, it's like they took a slight bit of vampire, combined it with a gargoyle and a scorpion. And boom, you basically get Gligar, and improved it even more with Gliscor. But I just really like Gligar's design. And then when seeing shiny Gligar going from a purple color to a blue color, it just made Gligar look even better. That's really all I can say about Gligar. I mean, I just love his design, and I love his shiny. And I also did like his personality when Ash owned him, where he was like sticking out his tongue. It was slightly cute for him to do that, and kind of kept it in Gliscor. But yeah, this is probably like my shortest entry for a Pokemon in Gligar, because that's all I can really say. Love the shiny, love the design, that's all I can say. So anyway, moving on to the next Mon in line is more of a fan favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, and that is Heracross. Yep, I am with the people who really love Heracross, because for one, he's just a really cool, slightly humanoid beetle Pokemon, and really loved it when Ash owned one, which is pretty nice. And the fact of what beetle that Heracross is based off of, which I think I remember is the Rhinoceros beetle, or I think it's the Hercules beetle, either one. And those beetles are really stinking strong. How strong? They could be able to lift up about around 850 times their own weight. Yeah, imagine Heracross being able to lift up that weight. Really, if I do think about it correctly, Heracross could be able to lift up the equivalent of 5 Groudons. That's insane. But they kind of did have to tone him down. But overall, like, yeah, Heracross can be a really good Mon competitively, because he has some really good stats. Because I mean, you see that attack stat, oh man. And I think Heracross does have Guts, I think, but I do believe he also has Moxie, which again, they're good abilities for him. And then again, with Heracross, he was another one of the Gen 2 Pokemon to gain a Mega Evolution. Now, my thoughts on Mega Heracross would be that I wouldn't exactly say it's an upgrade to Heracross, but kind of more or less a side grade to make Heracross different. To where, basically, he does get a boosted into his attack, but considering the ability that he get is, I believe, Skill Link, where basically a move that would hit 2 to 5 times would actually hit all 5 times. And Heracross does have moves that could be able to benefit from it, like, I think it's like Pit Missile, Rock Blast. I'm trying to remember all the stuff off the top of my head, so I apologize if I get anything wrong. But, yeah. And then just seeing what Mega Heracross looked like, basically going from the Rhinoceros or Hercules beetle to pretty much the Hercules beetle. Again, if I have this wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments if I have this wrong, because I kind of mix up Rhinoceros and Hercules beetle. But yeah, it's just, Heracross is just really awesome. Now, in terms of his shiny, basically, Heracross fell under the category of shiny Pokemon turning pink. And there are a lot of them. And yeah, pink shinies are almost just as hated as green ones, because people just say it just looks ugly on them, or it just does not look right with them. And Heracross was one of them. Basically, he went from blue to green, or blue to pink, which honestly, it does kind of work a little more if it was a female Heracross, but out of male, it's still not that bad. Would I think they could have done better with a shiny Heracross? Yes, because actually, a little while back, I actually came up with my own color for a shiny Heracross, which is that of basically turning him from blue to a gold color. And like, yes, I know that gold shinies are a thing, but with Heracross, there was a reason why I did this. Why I went with golden Heracross is because it's kind of referencing that of like an ancient artifact from like the Egyptian times, if I know that correctly, known as the golden scarabs, which basically the scarabs are beetles. So I decided, well, scarabs are beetles, Heracross is a beetle, why not just make him gold? To let him be like a gold scarab. So, yeah. So that was pretty much my idea of my version of Shiny Heracross. If they would have done that, man, people would just love Heracross even more if he became a golden scarab Heracross. But yeah, Heracross, really, really cool Pokemon, and was, or pretty much still is, a Gen 2 fan favorite to this day. Anyway, coming near to the end of the list, the next Pokemon that I'll be talking about is basically the pseudo-legendary of Generation 2, Tyranitar. Or, as people just abbreviate him as, T-Tar. But for... man, with Tyranitar, where do I even begin? First of all, Tyranitar, my god, your design just screams, I want to become a kaiju. Because, I mean, seriously, you just look at Tyranitar, and he does kind of have that resemblance to that of Godzilla, or Gojira. Like, yes, you can pretty much tell right there that I am a Godzilla fan. Well, I guess non-Godzilla fans could be able to know Godzilla's Japanese name, but yeah, I'm basically admitting that, yeah, I'm a Godzilla fan. And Tyranitar's design just kind of screams Godzilla. And I know for a fact that there have been a lot of people out there who nicknamed their Tyranitar that. But yeah, the cool thing about Tyranitar is that he can be quite versatile. Knowing that he could do so many things, it's just too bad that he couldn't be able to do all those things at once. Because, I mean, like, you got Dragon Dance, being a real good Sandstorm Summoner, and all that. It's like, seriously, I just think of them all in my head, and it just really amazes me of how awesome Tyranitar can be. And pretty much like with Heracross and a few of the others, Tyranitar became another Gen 2 Pokemon to receive a Mega Evolution. And oh my god, the design of Mega Tyranitar. I mean, you look at it, it's like they pretty much took its pre-evolutions and mixed it in with his Mega. Why I say that is because you look at the chest, it just looks like the face of a Pupitar, and then basically the crest that he gains on top of his head is basically like the crest of Larvitar, the first stage of Tyranitar. Now, would I say that Mega Tyranitar is an upgrade from Tyranitar? It depends on how you look at it. But I mean, like, you basically have a Dragon Dance Tyranitar, or Dragon Dance Mega Tyranitar. Oh boy. But I kind of see people using more of regular Tyranitar to Mega Tyranitar. But I mean, I have seen at least a few people be able to use Mega Tyranitar. Like, I think Wolf Glick was able to use Mega Tyranitar, and he did it pretty well. So I do give my props to Wolf Glick. Now, Shiny Tyranitar. Do I think Shiny Tyranitar is better than regular? Yes. Basically taking the green color and making it lighter and slightly duller. I guess kind of giving it a bit more of a beige look, and then taking the red on his abdomen and making it a purple color. It just feels like the purple just mixes with it well. Now, would I feel like they could have done better with Shiny Tyranitar? Maybe. But thankfully they didn't do worse with him. But what could have been cool for a Shiny Tyranitar is kind of make him more like an obsidian color. Or obsidian color, is what I should have said. But basically taking the green on his body and making it black color, and making his the pattern on his abdomen more of like a magma color. Like let it be yellow on top and then transition it to red on bottom. And let the black spots be just like a bright yellow color with like orange around the edges. That would have been a really cool Shiny Tyranitar. It would have been even cooler by mixing it in with Mega Tyranitar. But yeah, basically overall Tyranitar, a really good Gen 2 Mon. Very versatile. Can definitely be a good Dragon Dance user, or basically a Sandstorm spawner. And yeah, seriously, give Tyranitar a shot in competitive if you want to make a team. Anyway, second to last is basically my legendary of choice for Generation 2. And that is Ho-Oh. Yep, I am basically with Ho-Oh. Why? Well, it's basically, I seriously see Ho-Oh as a pretty underrated legendary. Why? Well, you gotta think about it. Ho-Oh hasn't had really anything major going for him. Because he, for one, has not had any major roles in a Pokemon movie. He's only had just brief cameo appearances. Because, I mean, yeah, you basically have Lugia in his movie in, I think it was like Pokemon the movie 2000? And then reappearing later again, and I believe it was Hoopa in the Clash of Ages, which, well, again, it was still Lugia, not Ho-Oh. Now, look, I don't want to go out of my way to say that Lugia is a terrible Pokemon, which he is not. Lugia in himself is a very cool Pokemon, because he does have a sleek design, and love his signature move in Aeroblast. But it's just, I just prefer more of Ho-Oh because, boy, I'm just feel like I'm going to get a little bit of disagreement here for what I'm going to be saying about Ho-Oh. Is that for one, I really see that Ho-Oh just has a better design than Lugia, and really, let's all be honest here, Ho-Oh just has a better shiny than Lugia. Again, Lugia fans, I'm not trying to hate on your legendary here because Lugia, again, is still cool. It's just, I really feel like Ho-Oh just needs more attention and love. And the fact that I feel like Ho-Oh just has a better signature move than Lugia too. Like being called Sacred Fire. It's just amazing. Though I'll never really understand why Entei got that move. I mean, it was perfect sense why Ho-Oh had it, but why give Entei Sacred Fire? So, yeah. Again, Lugia fans, I'm gonna have to keep apologizing, and I'm not trying to make Lugia look bad. It's just, Ho-Oh is just an underrated legendary, feels though that he just needs more love and appreciation, but I'm not wanting to take the love and appreciation away from Lugia and put it onto Ho-Oh. Because I have to stretch this out because I just don't want people in the comments section coming at me with their torches and pitchforks telling me why Lugia is better than Ho-Oh. Now when talking about Shiny Ho-Oh, oh my god. He is seriously, without a doubt, one of the coolest shiny legendaries ever. because you basically take the red and gold tail feathers and making them into gold and silver feathers, and taking the green tips of the feathers and making them into a deep reddish orange is just amazing. It's like they took Shiny Ho-Oh and just really made it represent the generation it came from. Because, you know, gold wing feathers and silver tail feathers. Excuse me again. I just really don't know what else to say. It's like Shiny Ho-Oh is just... it's just too amazing for words. But yeah, overall, just love Ho-Oh. Pretty underrated legendary. Feel as though that he does deserve a bit more love and appreciation. But again, not one to strip Lugia's love and appreciation away from it and putting it onto Ho-Oh, because that's just not right. But I know for a fact that there are definite good amount of Ho-Oh fans out there. But it's just that I see people preferring more of Lugia to Ho-Oh. But that's just me saying that. Anyway, now, before I move on to my last mon I want to talk about, there is one that I do want to mention that I forgot to put on here initially, but I do want to talk about. It is basically my third favorite Pokemon of all time, and it is that of Steelix. Now, what can I say about Steelix? For one, being a really awesome evolution to Onix. For one, gaining the Steel typing because, well, hello, Steel is in its name. Two, being the fact that it's, well, basically a giant steel snake is just awesome. His cry was amazing, or still is. And, man, Steelix can be able to take physical hits like nobody's business. And then the fact for when Steelix, again, becoming a Gen 2 Pokemon that gained a Mega Evolution, which I was very legitimately surprised that happened. Basically, his defense basically now tied with Mega Aggron and Shuckle for highest base defense at base 230. That's just insane defenses. Even though I would most likely say that Shuckle really just doesn't look like a Mon who would have that high of defense. He does look like a defensive Mon, but I didn't really feel like he really needed defense that high. But that's just me. And then when seeing Mega Steelix for the first time, it was just kind of love at first sight. Like, basically taking the protrusions out the size of Steelix's body and making them diamonds. And the best part about Mega Steelix was that of these flatline diamond rock shards just orbiting around his freaking head. You cannot tell me that is not cool. You just can't. It's just amazing. And then Shiny Steelix was just even better. Basically turning it from gray to gold was just cool. And seeing it on Mega Steelix was just even better. That's all I can really say. Steelix, very cool looking Pokemon. My third favorite Pokemon of all stinking time. Basically, being able to take physical hits like nobody's business, and taking them even better when going Mega, and having one of the coolest designs of any Mega Evolution. That's basically all I could say about Steelix. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. Anyway, so I guess consider saying that Steelix was bit of an honorable mention, which really I should have just put on the list in the first place. Now to be talking about the last one is my starter of choice for Generation 2. Well, basically people, it's just going to be rinse and repeat, because my starter for Generation 2 is the water type that is Feraligatr. Feraligatr. What I can say about it for you is, one, you're just a freaking awesome bipedal alligator. It's just really awesome, because basically for me, alligators and crocodiles are basically my favorite reptiles, and really actually overall, alligators and crocodiles are like my favorite animals of all time. Because you kind of think about it like your childish mind kind of thinks that alligators and crocs are sort of like dinosaurs in a way. And just knowing for the fact of how good ambush predators, gators, and crocs can be. Whew. And with Feraligatr, he's just like a gator but better. And the fact that he stands over 7 feet tall. I mean, yes, real gators and crocs can technically be longer than that, but with Feraligatr, he's an exception. Now, the thing about it is with Feraligatr is that he's been in quite a competition with another water type back in Gen 1, and he was actually talked about in the Kanto list, and it was that of Gyarados. Like, seriously, it's like Gyarados and Feraligatr just have that nice little competition with each other. Even though some people would say that Gyarados is just basically Feraligatr but better. And I would have to agree that Gyarados is a better Feraligatr than Feraligatr. But I still love Feraligatr so much. Because you look at the design. He just screams, yeah, you mess with me, I'll wreck your face. Because you basically got those big old dorsal spines coming out of his back. Just for some reason having really awesome looking arms. And I just don't know, it's just his shape is just awesome. And well, I just don't know what else to say about Feraligatr besides, well, the shiny version. Do I feel like that shiny Feraligatr is better than regular Feraligatr? Yeah, he is. Because the fact of taking those red dorsal spines and making them a very cool aqua blue color was really cool. Really emphasizing more on the water typing. Do I feel like they could have done better? Well, they could have. In actuality, I actually came up with my own idea for a shiny Feraligatr. Is basically taking the blue color, making it more of like a deep murky greenish color, like making Swampert look like he definitely spent more time in the swamps. But like again, basically taking the blue and making it a dark swampy green color, and I do believe basically bringing back the red dorsal spines. And making the beige pattern on his abdomen and chin more of a lighter green color, and basically just calling it Swampgator. That's what I think I would have liked for a shiny Feraligatr. Now I know for a fact that when it comes to the Johto starters, that some people would prefer more of like, say, Typhlosion, but yeah, not me. I will be Feraligatr all the time. And I know people would just never really consider about using the Chikorita line in the Gen 2 games because they all just pretty much say that Chikorita just plain sucks, but I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, and really I'll just say that when it comes to the Chikorita line, you try it out in the single player, and it won't be as bad as you think. That's all I really have to say. But overall, I just love Feraligatr because of the fact that he's a big Kumonga bipedal gator, though I wish he could do better in his competition against Gyarados. And the shiny is just really nice. That's all I can really say. Oh yeah, not also to mention for the fact that when going up against Feraligatrs online, you can more or less expect him to use one move, and that is Dragon Dance. Because I think it's like sheer force Feraligatr with Dragon Dance. I think that's how they usually do it. But yeah. So that'll pretty much do it for the 11 Pokemon in Johto that I have either a real liking or just a liking for. Again, it was really hard to find Pokemon in Gen 2 that I really had a liking for, and figuring out reasons why I like these mons so much, or just like them. Because again, Gen 2 is basically my least favorite in terms of the roster, because their designs just don't appeal to me that much. Except for the ones that I talked about. Excuse me again. So, that'll pretty much do it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And possibly within the next few days, I will be talking about the Pokemon from, well, pretty much my favorite region, Gen 3, that I have a liking for. And oh boy, is it going to be a good one. So, I'll be seeing you guys next time.